Okay guys, today I wanted to go over our March box with you guys. You got 5 glitters, a mold, and 2 micas. This is Tropical Oasis. This is an iridescent. It also does the 3D effect. It's kind of a coral, but it's got the gold highlights to it, and it will change depending on your base. And that's what it looks like on a black base. It is a fine cut. We're going to do these fairly quickly today because I want to show you how to do your mold. Okay, the next one is Moon Dancer. It is an extra fine cut. It is a light blue, but if you like Pixie, you will like this one. It has the holographic burst. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. But it's super light, super fluffy, and I don't know if you can see the purple burst, but they are there. It is Moon Dancer. Get a different piece of paper for that. Okay, the next one is Purple Mellow. It is a white iridescent, chunky. Kind of has a little bit of a gold yellow tint to it, but it also has holographic purple to it. I don't know if you can, I think that's showing up some of it. But that is Purple Mellow. It's not really showing the purple on here. It looks more gold on there. But this is also an iridescent, so you can see a lot of the purple there. It's going to change depending on what color base you use. But on the black base you can see the purple. Okay, that is Purple Mellow. And like I said, I'm going to go through these fairly quickly today because I want to do a mold with you guys. Okay, the next one is 3DB. It is a yellow chunky, but it has a 3D effect. This is also an iridescent. I use this on my B cup. Let me see if I have it over here. Okay, I don't see it close by, so I will try to find it and put it at the end of the video. But this is it gives it a 3D shimmer. And again, this is an iridescent. And that's what it looks like on a black base. See looks like little bubbles. It's just super 3D. This would be perfect for your sunflower or your bee cups. Okay, and the last one is Dimensional Ruby. This is our newest in our dimensional line. There is several shapes, sizes, colors, effects going on in there. Let's see if I can get some of it up here. These are great for geodes or anywhere you want dimension. As I said, there's shapes, there's different, all kinds of goodies in our dimensionals. And that is Dimensional Ruby. Okay, the two micas that you guys got this month were both kind of a purpley tone. This is custom mica number 2. You got custom mica number 1 in your previous box. We're going to try to start doing a custom in every box. This custom is a very pretty light lavender purple. This way, see if I can get you guys where you can see a little bit of it. Get the camera to focus, but it's a really light, very shimmery pearl mica. Okay, and the other one that you guys got, if you have our glitter Destin, it's a custom glitter that we mix up, and it's actually named after Destin in our Facebook group. But this is Bordeaux. This is pretty much what our Destin glitter looks like. I should have had one so I could compare it for you, but I didn't think about it. And it is a dark burgundy wine. It's also a shimmer. It's very shiny. But again, if you have our glitter Destin, then this is a great partner to that. Okay. So the mold that you guys got this month is a dream catcher. This is your main part of the dream catcher. And then you have your feathers that you can make to hang down. I would do one of every size or two of every size, however you want to do it. But then you can also make the little butterflies or the flowers or any of the little detailed items to, after you get done with this part, you can epoxy those and also add those to your design. One thing that I like to do with my molds before I do anything with them is take packaging tape and go over them, because I have lots of glitter that fly around here, and they stick to the silicone molds very easily. So I just try to alleviate any excess that might be on there if possible, and this is a very easy way. It's also how I clean up my silicone mats. It just peels right off. Okay, so we are going to do the painting of the mold today. I'm going to use a few different colors that we have. We're going to use the light pink pearl mica. We're going to use our aqua blue pearl mica, angel wings pearl mica, and the custom mica number 2. You're going to need paintbrushes. Whatever size you want to use is perfectly fine. Lots of people use the silicone tip tools. You can use those as well. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the pink. And you just dip it in and paint it on. You're just going to take your time because it does fly. Make sure you get everywhere. Depending on what color your resin is, will also kind of depend on how your color pops. If you use just straight resin, it's going to give this kind of a transparency look to it for a lot of the micas. We're going to be using white because I'm going to mix it with the angel wings. And of course, if you use darker colors, it's going to mute it a little bit. And on the feathers, you want to make sure you get all of your detail because they're going to show. All those little lines are going to show. So make sure you're getting all done in there. And just take your time. That way you don't throw mica everywhere. It's still going to fly some, no matter what you do, but you can kind of control it a little if you go a little slow. And just kind of, if you don't do the edges, that's going to show up in whatever color your resin is. So I always try to get up on the edges as well. And it's going to show wherever you put that mica, it's going to bond with your resin during the curing process. Alright. I'm going to do the teal next. Just kind of fade it into the pink. And you can do these solid colors. You can start from the center, go out, however you want to, whatever effect you want it to have. Again, just kind of brush those lines really well. If not, whatever resin you put behind it will show up. If you don't have it completely covered there. I'm going to just kind of tap it at the edge of the other color, just to make sure that it kind of ombres in there, or fades in. And then again, just wherever you want your color is where you're going to brush this on at. In this mold, I have found that it is a little wonky shaped, so I'm going to show you when you get ready to fill it with resin. You have to kind of prop these edges up, because these molds are originally made for fondant or for clay, that kind of thing, and your resin will spill out if you don't prop it up just a little bit on the edges. Alright, now we're going to move on to our custom mica. And this is number 2. I really like the way these 3 colors go together. I haven't decided yet. I'm wanting to do a 3D cup with a dream catcher on it. So I'm going to try a couple of different ideas and see which way works best. And then hopefully we can get that added to the end of the video, maybe, once I get time to do it. Make sure you get your tips really well on these, because they will definitely show whatever resin is behind. Actually, okay, so I think I changed my mind. I want to make the border a little bit different color. So I'm going to use my Angel Wings mica. And with a tiny brush, go in and do this edge. Go slow, because it will fly. But I think I want that to have its own color there. Its own little, so you can kind of tell it apart. The little rope border. You just paint it in. Make sure to get the bottom and the edges really well there, because I'm going to do the purple and I know it's going to fall down in there. So I want to make sure I coat this pretty good with the white. Mica just flies, as you all know. I want to also do one of these with a dark background and use my chameleon mica on that too, so that it can totally be a chameleon flip. Just kind of paint it in there. And I went with white. I started to do gold, but I went with white because of all the pastel colors. And I'm going to be doing gold flake on some of the details of it afterwards. So I'm hoping this will give it a nice little pop. Okay. And as you see, it doesn't take a lot of mica for this. Just on the tip of your brush. And you can use a sponge or whatever you have handy to brush this on with. You don't have to use a paintbrush. It's just easier for me, I think, for the paintbrush. Just kind of go straight to the edge and try not to go over any further because I don't want it to overpower that white if it does fly off in there. But again, just make sure you get all your little details. Because if you miss it, you will definitely see it when you get your resin in there. See, it just flew down in there. Hopefully that won't be too much. Hopefully you won't even see it. Maybe I'm hoping the white mica will cover it. It's just a drop, so maybe it will. Okay, I think I'm going to do the white on the tips of my feathers, just to kind of bring all of that together. And then once it's done curing, I plan on going back and adding some gold flake to some of these areas, just for some pop. And then again, I may change my mind once it's done. It just depends on how it looks, I guess. Some of that out there. A little bit more on my brush than I thought. Okay. Just gonna look and see if there's anywhere that we need to add anything to. One more right there. Okay, now we are going to be using FX Premium Epoxy today. I'm trying to save all of my counterculture resin, my artist resin for my tumblers. So I'm trying to use up all of my FX Premium. I think I'm going to mix, I had mixed 40 for my first one, and that was a little bit too much for everything. I actually ended up doing some extra little pieces as well. So I think I'm going to mix about 30, and then I'm going to show you guys what I do on the ends to not let this roll over, because it is, like I said, it was made for fondant originally, and so when they produced it, they really didn't pay attention to having the whole thing level. The circle part of the dream catcher slants. So basically we're just going to try to raise up both ends just a tad. It doesn't take a lot. I take a piece of copy paper and fold it in half, and then in half again. And place it underneath. Let's go ahead and fold one edge up. So you folded it in half and half again. And then we're going to fold just the edge up. And I placed it about right there, about the end of the feather. It just kind of holds it up some. And then you're going to take another piece, fold it in half one more time. And it goes underneath the other end. Every now and then, you may have to fold this end the same way we did this, but I have found typically if you get it right at the edge of your circle, it kind of holds it up just enough to where it will stay in. And if I do have to fold it again, I'll make sure you guys see that. Okay, so for the sake of the video and time, I'm going to pause it, get my epoxy stirred and ready to go, and then we will start the video back up. Okay, so I have my 30 mLs of FX Premium Epoxy completely mixed up. When you're mixing, make sure you scrape the sides and the bottom. Make sure you get all of it mixed in. Okay, so as I said, our backing is going to be our Angel Wings Pearl Mica. It doesn't take a whole lot for visual reference. This is a small popsicle stick. We're going to scoop about that much. Really don't even need that much. So about that much, just a minute amount. Drop it directly into your epoxy. Stir it. And make sure you scrape your sides and bottoms so that you don't have any epoxy that does not have your mica. As you can see, it's just a really, so I can get it towards the light here, It's just a real creamy looking white. And we are going to pour this directly into your mold cavities. Just kind of let it settle a little. Make sure you get all the little details. A toothpick works really well here, or your silicone tools. You can take the tips of them and kind of maneuver that epoxy where you want it to go. Just a little more in there, I think. Okay. Just make sure all of your mold is in there. Your resin is filling all the different little crevices. The only thing with propping this end up, of course, is you also change the sides as far as how your feathers set. And you can kind of see how it falls whenever it's filled. You'll see your resin going one way or the other. And so I have also in the past done just the feathers or just the dream catcher. Put that in the center just to kind of prop it up a little. I apologize for that, y'all. I never thought about that whenever we got these in for our box. I just fell in love with them, and it's like, I've got to have that. So and again, your mica is going to cure to your resin as it cures, and all that color is going to be there when you get ready to. There's a little bubble, so let's pop that. And again, you can kind of see where you need to adjust how you've got it. Alright, let's get the big part of the mold done now. Hopefully 30 was enough. Like I said, 40 was too much on the last one, and I ended up doing some of the details, so I'm hoping 30 is good. I'm not going to put all of it out just yet. Definitely want to make sure you get that resin down in the edges. I just kind of work it there first so that I know it's down there. Hopefully there's no air bubbles getting trapped. But I always try to do edge of my mold or the smaller sections of my mold first, because you can fill in the top. But if you get an air bubble down there and don't know it, this isn't a clear epoxy, so you would have to watch it, and you'll see it rise to the top sometimes. Unfortunately, they don't always. So just very gently run it down into your edges, and that will, especially the pointed tools, that will kind of, if you've got something there, it will pop it. Like right there. There's one there, there's one there. I think 30 is going to be just about enough to do your feathers and the main portion of your mold. It looks like it's going to be just enough. Now, if you wanted to do, of course, the details, then you would need 40 or even more if you wanted to do the entire thing. But if you're just doing your feathers and your main part, it looks like 30 is going to be good. And just kind of make sure you don't have bubbles anywhere that you see. I think I'm going to give this a little lift in the center as well. I'm just going to slide that popsicle stick up in there. And again, I'm sorry y'all have to do that. Just get it right in the center there. Just so we don't open that up just a tad. Okay, when we get ready to do the unboxing, I will record that as well. The unmolding, not the unboxing. But I will record that as well. Epoxy everywhere. Just want to make sure I don't have any bubbles anywhere that I can see before I walk away. Alright, when we unmold it, I will record that. Okay, so it's been probably about 8 hours since I poured this. I'm going to unmold it and kind of show y'all what my idea is for this. You can see all the different colors that we painted into the mold. Any little excess, I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and trim those off. It's still kind of pliable. It's not completely cured. See the purple and the teal, the pink. Same with that one. You can see all the different little details in those feathers. Okay, so the idea is a 3D cup. I don't have one prepped yet, so I'm just going to kind of show you what my plan is. After you pull it out and it's still pliable, take it and decide what you're going to do to it. And you're going to mold it to your cup. However you're going to want that to fall. This one's actually too big for this cup, but I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. You can also wrap your cup with a silicone mat or with parchment paper. Okay, so let's say this isn't the cup I'm going to use, but I'm just trying to show you guys. So say I have these laid the way I want them on my cup. Let me turn it this way so you can see. Maybe something like that. Okay. You can take rubber bands and go around these to hold them in place. You can put parchment paper underneath if you want, like I said, so that it doesn't stick. This is pretty much cured. I waited a little bit too long to take this out, but wrap your rubber bands around them. Let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow you can go back and pull them off and they'll be formed to your cup. You can either attach them using epoxy, or you can attach them using E6000, any kind of adhesive, and then they're there. I mean, you'll have your 3D effect. But that's kind of my plan for this one. Like I said, you can see where all the mica has transferred to the design as it has cured. So I'm going to get my rubber bands and I'm going to wrap these around, and then I will show you guys the next step. So that is how I would rubber band that on to let it cure the rest of the way, so that it is shaped to fit the cup. This cup's a little too small for this, but I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about. And we may still go with that. We'll decide before tomorrow. So, but that's how I set them to where they will conform to whatever I want them to.